But let's move then to the hurling. Of course, what a weekend we had in the hurling. We have the Clare Semi Finals, the Dublin Semi Finals, Kilkenny Semi Final, where Ballyhale progressed to the final where they were played James Stephens. We had the Limerick Quarter Finals, the Tip Semi Finals. Let's start with Clare. Éire Óg Ennis beating Six Mile Bridge by 223 to 217. The goals coming from David Reedy and Shane O'Donnell, the two crucial lads there for Éire Óg. Ballyea, the champions in the other side of the draw, they beat Cratloe by 24 points to 117. Of course, the likes of Niall Deasy, the likes of Tony Kelly coming through again there for Ballyea. But crucially, Gary Brennan returning for Ballyea off the bench after his long injury. What are you kind of thinking now going into a final with Éire Óg and Ballyea?
The thing is with the Éire Óg Ennis boys, they're going for Dublin Clare. That'll be incredible if they do win it. Potentially Munster as well. Like, they have a pretty good side in football. And look at the players they have in hurling as well. Shane O'Donnell, David Reedy. Imagine Shane O'Donnell and David Reedy are going to come up against Tony Kelly. That is a really, really good pairing, and you couldn't ask for any better than that. Ballyea have done well in the Munster Championship over the last few seasons. Éire Óg Ennis haven't really. Who would you rather be in this championship as a Clare fan? Probably Ballyea, but Éire Óg Ennis will definitely make a run of it. Like, Shane O'Donnell is an outstanding player. I honestly think so. He's definitely improved this year more so because, like, in the games against Limerick this season, games against Wexford, he was the guy for Clare that always stood up when counted. So I'm glad to see him in the final actually, and he's rounding off his year in dramatic fashion really. But it's going to be a very, very good final between two brilliant Clare sides. And Éire Óg Ennis going for a double. Could they do it? Like, it's on.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm going for Ballyea to win though. I just think the likes of Tony Kelly and Gary Brennan coming back, I think they just might be a little bit too strong. The Dublin semi-finals then, this is incredible. Na Fianna beat Coola 218 to 17 points. Kilmacud Crokes made minimum fuss of beating Ballybowden St. Enda's. And not only that now, they not only are going into the Dublin Hurling Final for a repeat of last year's Dublin Hurling Final, but they are also playing each other in the football final as well. So massive credit has to go to both clubs that in the capital, we have two clubs with really a stranglehold one over the north and one over the south. I mean, absolutely incredible rivalry that is developing now between Kilmacud Crokes and Na Fianna, and they're going to be playing each other in two finals within 2 weeks. So I feel like they're going to get to know each other pretty well. Of course, Na Fianna beating Coola and Kilmacud beating Ballybowden St. Enda's. Which one kind of impressed you more?
Probably the Na Fianna result. Like, beating Coola, who were All-Ireland champions over the last few seasons. It's a brilliant victory for them. And to be honest, I said this in your podcast and Aaron's as well. I'd actually rather Na Fianna win the hurling in particular, because I thought they were kind of robbed last year in them final few seconds when Ronan Hayes started to turn into prime Ronaldo and hit goals in quick succession. But I honestly hope Na Fianna win the hurling anyway. I think most people, correct me if I'm wrong now, Seamus, but I think most people actually want Na Fianna to win the football too, because Kilmacud are an incredible side really, with Shane Walsh and Paul Mannion. They're definitely All-Ireland contenders. And if Na Fianna knocked them out, if Na Fianna were to win two finals against Kilmacud Crokes, there'll be a huge soul search in Kilmacud Crokes, I would imagine, because a lot of people will be backing them to win hurling and football. But if Kilmacud Crokes manage to do it, if they manage to do the double-double, that's incredible in its own, the capital. I mean, it's incredible, really. And if one side was to lose two finals, Jesus, imagine the scenes in the club then. It's going to be incredible. But yeah, fair play to both sides for reaching the final. North against South. I've heard it from yourself. I heard it from Aaron. This is going to be tasty, these two finals. I think the football finals at TG Carr on Sunday. Hopefully the hurling final will be shown too.
Oh, yeah. It has to be after last year's final. I mean, that game last year was absolutely incredible. I mean, Shane Walsh being a Kilmacud Crokes reminds me of like when you'd play FIFA against your little brother or your little cousin or something. You do Real Madrid against Barcelona, and then you'd play the game, you'd realize that your little cousin had transferred Ronaldo to Barcelona or something. Like, it just, Shane Walsh being a Kilmacud Crokes just isn't fair. He's too good to be in a team that good. It's crazy. But yeah, moving on then, of course, Kilkenny Ballyhale will play James Stephens. That's going to be right tasty. So Liberties beat Patrick's Well 113 to 14 points. They play Na Piarsaigh next. Doon beat Kildemo by 120. and then Kilmallock are going to play them next. Kilmallock, of course, the Limerick champions of last season. I mean, what do you think about first Ballyhale back in the final and then the Limerick quarter finals, South Liberties and Doon picking up victories and moving on then?
Yeah, I backed James Stephens to win the All Ireland. I'm still going to back them. Like, yeah, I believe in fairy tales. They're going to win. I think Brian Cody, if they were to beat Ballyhale, it'd be an absolutely incredible achievement for them to go on and do it. Limerick, I'm incredibly surprised. And this is why people are kind of overrating the fact that Kilmacud have the likes of Paul Mannion and Shane Walsh. When you look at Patrick Wells' team, Cian Lynch, Cian Lynch wasn't playing yesterday now, but Dermot Burns, Aaron Gallan. Like, Dermot Burns and Aaron Gallan were arguably the top two players in the country this season, and they still can't get to a Limerick semi-final. I find that incredible, really.
Yeah.
The amount of talent they have, and to lose to South Liberties as well. And quick mention to Cork's very own Anthony Nash. I think he's in the South Liberties team. So fair play to him. I think he's Barry Nash's cousin, actually. So that's why he actually went to the South Liberties team, transferred from Cantor. But well done to him, reaching the Limerick semi-final, I suppose. But for Patrick Wells to lose at that stage in the quarter-final is incredible, considering the amount of talent they have. And yeah, the Limerick semi-finals are hotting up now. You would have to expect Kilmallock and the Pearshig to reach the final. I would say the Pearshig would be the strongest of the two there, but we'll have to wait and see, I suppose.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going with Na Pearshig to get over the line. They're one of my favourite teams. I really like Na Pearshig. Kilmallock, I thought they looked good, and then they got to play against Ballygunner and they absolutely folded within the first 15 minutes, and Ballygunner just put them away. So I'd love to see Na Pearshig against Ballygunner. I think that'll be one hell of a game. Then, of course, before we wrap up the last one, the Tip semi-finals. Killadangan, they beat Drummond by 121 to 117. Dan O'Mara's goal in the last minute sealed it for Killadangan after Seamus Callan's goal had turbocharged the Drummond comeback. Kilruan, they beat Upper Church Drumbain by 217 to 114. Jerome Cahill looked so impressive for Kilruan, hitting a goal in 4. Keane Darcy hit the second goal for Kilruan, which really thwarted the Upper Church challenge. But that is it. Killadangan against Kilruan into the Tipperary final. Which of these two are you backing more?
Jesus, it's a tough one, man. I kind of get confused between the two because they have Kill at the start of their name. I don't know why, to be honest, but I'm sorry, Tipperary fans, if you're watching this, but yeah, it's quite confusing for fans outside Tipperary getting used to them two clubs in the final. But I'd go Killadangan maybe, because I think they won it in 2020. Correct me if I'm wrong now, but like they're used to winning, and I think they'll win again now. And they'll be dying to go on Munster this season because they didn't get the chance in 2020 because of COVID, obviously. So they'll be dying to get the chance this time again. Whether they'll do well in Munster, I'm not sure. When you look at sides there, probably St. Finbarr's, Ballygunner, Na Pearshig. Like, that's going to be pretty hard to get out of, really. The Munster Championship looks like it's hotting up, but I'd have to back Killadangan to win Tip anyway.
Yeah, no, I'd be agreeing with you there. I just like the way that they're playing Dan O'Mara. I think he's really impressive. His goal right at the end was a beauty, and that kind of finished off the challenge from Drummond Inch. And Seamus Callan was very good. Obviously, he got his goal, but I felt like they handled him quite well. Just before we wrap up, I'm just going to run through the other results in the club championship. So in Down, St. Pat's, Portaferry, they beat Ballycran, who of course were the Down champions last year. They beat them by 112 to 13 points. The Mayo hurling final also happened. That, of course, I'm just getting it up now. That saw Turin beat Ballyhonest by 114 to 2-5. In the Meath hurling final, Trim beat Ratoath by 113 to 110. So I'm pretty sure we've probably missed something. We've tried to round up all the action that has happened over the weekend, but my God, there is loads of it. But Matt, we're in for a treat. Next weekend's action is going to be incredible.
It's got to be, yeah. And reminder as well, the Cork Hurling Final is on Sunday. I know the Dublin Final is on at the same time, but this is a really good final. Blackrock against St. Finbarr's. Historic final, really. Like, a lot of finals in the past few seasons have been like Sarsfields, Glen Rovers, Kelly coming up, but these are the two historic clubs in Cork Hurling, so definitely one to look out for. And even in Kerry now, Dingle against East Kerry is a good one. That's not being shown on TV. I don't know why, to be honest with you. And it's the other Kerry semi-final that's being shown. I mean, tells you all you need to know what's wrong with RT, really, when you think about that. And then the Dublin final, that's going to be intriguing. I'd probably watch the Cork Hurling at the same time though. Who's the game at 2 o'clock? I forgot. Oh Jesus! But anyway, it's going to be a fantastic weekend of GAA action once again, and we're definitely going into the boiling point of provincial championships. I cannot wait for this.
Yeah, me too. They're probably showing Fair City instead of the Dingle game or something now on RT schedule. But yeah, I mean, starting a petition here right now for RT to make a GAA only TV channel. I think it's been something that has been needed to happen since the dawn of time, when Ireland obviously had their obsession with Gaelic games. Why RT hasn't had just a channel of GAA is beyond me, when you have stuff like Man United TV and Liverpool TV and stuff like that, and they only have one game. So yeah, I'd be definitely pushing for that. But Matt, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on again. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much, Seamus. Delighted to be on.
All right, guys, that is the episode. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. It really helps us out. And until next one.